When I think of a point forward, a 6'6" ball handling and playmaking wing of the Kauhajoen Karhut named Henri Kantonen comes to mind. Henri is now playing his 5th season in Korisliiga. The first was all the way back in 2016. Since then, he won the Most Improved Player Award in 2018 and the Player of the Year Award in 2020. And today in 2022, it looks like his experience in Finland's top league and as a member of several of Finland's national teams has really propelled his game to the top level in the league as a playmaker and leader. He's been making very advanced passes as of late and developing his quick thinking and decision making skills to a point where he could reasonably be considered a point guard trapped in the body of a forward. Guess that's why they call him a point forward. Kauhajoki doesn't always start a traditional size point guard, so it's often Kantonen playing the role of the PG, which is honestly unfair because the size of this starting lineup with him leading the way at the 1 has led to many great things on the defensive end of the court as well, but more on that later. Let's first take a quick dive into Henri's playmaking skills and then we'll transition into some of the other facets of the game that he's been positively contributing in for the #1 team in the league. Now, Kantonen's nearly a top 15 assist maker this year. He spiked to over 4 assists per game on the season, and as we take a look at some of his passes here, I want you to notice the quick decisions that he makes with the ball in his hands. Let's start with this fast break. One of his options here would be to dump the ball to the big man inside where there's a help defender approaching, but instead he sees a near 40% 3-point shooter out in the corner and 3 is better than 2. This time around there's that same big guy again. That's Simeon Carter if you don't know the name. And Henri instead chooses to feed him the ball and it's a perfectly placed one-handed lob. Simeon's become a really solid lob target for Kantonen. The timing of this duo is spectacular, just a little bit of eye contact and they each know what's coming next. On this possession, Henri dimes a little bounce pass to Carter through a tight window and that's all the space he really needs. So this duo is awesome, but going back to the whole decision making thing, Henri notices things before they play out. Here he notices a mismatch in the paint. But there's also a bigger player here lurking, so Henri places the ball out of the bigger player's reach and that is 2 points everybody. This time he drives middle off the corner. The help defender is stuck with too many options and Kantonen isn't very remorseful. Here on the fast break, there's another mismatch and you gotta make the pass before any help comes, and Henri does it and places the ball right on target. Henri Kantonen's really taken a leap as of recent in a larger playmaking role. He's consistently hitting cutters through tight windows, penetrating and making kick-out passes to open shooters, and really just growing as a player who has the ball in his hands for a large portion of the game. This has been a crucial part of Kauhajoki's success this season, but Kantonen's also made his presence felt in some other ways. As far as shooting goes, Kantonen's been hitting about 34% of his threes, which isn't terrific, slightly below average, but as a guy who has the ball in his hands quite often, he's forced to take a lot of shots off the dribble which are low in efficiency. However, with catch and shoot attempts, he's been lights out this year at about 44% from distance, meaning he can absolutely stroke it from long range. He just might need some time to set his feet and then fire. But something that's a bit more relevant to Henri's scoring than his shooting is his ability to drive. Taking a quick look at his shot chart this season, you notice his game's a lot of inside and out. Quite a bit of outside scoring, but a lot of his damage comes right there at the rim. He's converting on nearly 60% of those shots within a few feet of the basket. And what's a good sign is that he doesn't shy away from contact at the rim, using his body to bump into the bigs protecting the paint. He's not ultra explosive, meaning he's not dunking over people, but watch him instead control the tempo and slow down his drive a bit once he gets close to the hoop. He chooses to force his defenders to play at his pace, which makes concentrating and finishing at the basket a lot easier while simultaneously throwing off his opponent. But he also has a tendency to get a bit reckless in there. And that switch up keeps defenders guessing, which leads to some extra contact that often draws him a foul. Speaking of defense, at 6'6" and pesky, Kantonen's a solid point of attack defender who shuffles his feet well and gives a great contest to every shot he's defending. Even when he gets beat, which is fairly uncommon, he makes scoring on him one heck of a battle. Henri Kantonen's impact as an on-ball defender has been critical to Kauhajoki's show-stopping defense, and his scoring and playmaking especially have also been a massive part of this team's surge into the #1 seed this season. And at just 24 years old, Henri's star-level impact will be felt for many years to come. Now, if you want to watch Henri Kantonen and the Kauhajoen Karhu to battle the Vilpas Vikings in the finals, order tickets now or watch live on Ruutu+. And to keep in touch with the series, follow Koresega's socials, which will be linked down below in the description, and subscribe to our channel Basket Finland here on YouTube. And with that all said, I'll see you all at the finals.